Following the race at New Hampshire, the championship has gotten a little bit crazy as Thomas Tucker and Ryan Griffin are only 3 points apart from each other. Here at Burlington, this could always change, and of course, being the first time the series visits this track, no one really has a clue of what they can do at full speed. Let's go trackside for the start of the race. Luke Lanigan leads the field to the green. Alongside him is Ryan Walker. They come into turn number 1 and Jamal Schmidt already trying to make a move, but he can't do it. Carter Fitzgerald into the back of the 55, shoves him into the number 90, and they're all together coming into turn number 3. And here comes Jamal Schmidt on the inside, making a 3 wide. There's a 5 and a 6 wide back there, and there's gonna be contact, setting off a huge mess in the back of the field, as Jamal Schmidt appears to have taken the lead with Callum Rogers-Ashby right on his back, with Ryan Walker right behind him. We're gonna take a look at that later on, but let's just take a check at this, as Roger Gailey gets into the back of his employee, sends him out into the gravel, and then right in front of that, Andrea Lynn Caldwell gets into the back of Cassandra Collins, sending Lucy Barton around to get hit by multiple people, including Lee Schmidt, Flannery Moore, Danny Hamilton, among others, including Roger Gailey, who already was involved in the incident. Mason Yokoyama also involved. As you can see, Lucy Barton's gonna get back into the pace very slowly, as Callum Rogers-Ashby at the end of the first lap already goes on forward to make a move for the lead over Jamal Schmidt, and seems like she's not gonna be able to make it until they get into turn number 1 and turn number 2, as Ryan Walker is right behind Schmidt and he's gonna hang on to keep second place, but Callum Rogers-Ashby is not gonna say no, at least not yet, and she makes a move for the second position as Jamal Schmidt blocks her path and impedes her from taking the first place. At the end of the second lap, start of the third one, Jamal Schmidt leads with Callum Rogers-Ashby in second. Third place is Carter Fitzgerald. Fourth place is Thomas Tucker, trying to make an effort for the championship, as his main opponent, Ryan Griffin, is right there in sixth place, ready to make a move on Ryan Walker as Trey Ashby looks on. Lap number 3, Callum Rogers-Ashby makes a move on the inside with the help of Carter Fitzgerald, using Jamal Schmidt as a pick to go through and take second place. She won't be able to, as Tammy Barton gets into the back of McHenley. She hangs onto that car, sends him around, and he's gonna get hit by Vince Arnold, and that's a pretty big crash for McHenley's championship chances, as Tina Ashby into the back of Connie Brooks. She gets hit by Kelly Ashcroft and then by Lucy Barton again after going to the pits to repair some of that damage. Lonnie Rollins hits the pit lane on lap number 5. He might be trying to do something strategy-wise, but we do think it's a tire failure, because it seems like they had no idea he had a tire failure and was coming in. As Lexi Percy sends Joe Rodriguez into the pit wall, very hard hit by Joe Rodriguez. However, he would climb out of that car a little bit dizzy. I think he was surprised that the crash was so sudden, but overall he'd be alright and he would be cleared by the infield care center, as Carter Fitzgerald and Jamal Schmidt battle for the second position, with Callum Rogers-Ashby running away as she passed Roger Gailey and is working to pass the lap car of McHenley and the lap car of Danny Hamilton, as Ryan Walker runs in fourth. And as you can see, Callum Rogers is having a little bit of hardship as we hit lap number 11 of 54. She's having a little bit of difficulty going through the number 10 and the number 13, because they are in the very same pace as her, so it's really hard for her to make a reliable move that is gonna stick, as Andrew Cross now took fourth place from Ryan Walker, and he's all over Carter Fitzgerald. Jonathan Haskins, despite the contact, is running in 25th. He hits the pit lane on lap number 14. He's gonna try something strategy-wise, just like his teammate Lonnie Rollins. Trey Ashby running in 5th place. Grant Carsons is currently in 6th. Catching up with Ryan Walker, Carter Fitzgerald, and the rest of the top 5, as Callum Rogers-Ashby continues to lead the way. She just scored the fastest lap of the race on a 56.2 2:04 as Andrew Cross running in second place. Problems for Trey Ashby, a tire blowout. He's gonna stop on track. He's gonna get the car back into the pit lane, but his chances are over as Cassandra Collins into the back of Danny Hamilton right in front of Ryan Griffin, the championship leader in peril. You're gonna watch his perspective as Cassandra Collins got into the back. I don't think it was intentional, but it was right in front of Griffin. Griffin had just nothing to, he just had nowhere to go. Callum Rogers-Ashby continues to lead as we hit lap number 18. Vince Arnold gets sent around by Andrew Atwood. They hit the wall, they're gonna bounce back on track, and that could have ended way worse. As Max Stender running in 25th on lap number 24, he gets sent around by Max Stender and then gets hit by Mac Hanley, and that would end Hanley's race and Tender's race. So, not a very good weekend for Max Stender. His team had a lot of difficulty coming into the weekend, and as far as we know, Polymer Oil might not return to that team as Callum Rogers-Ashby kicks the scheduled pit stop cycle with Andrew Cross on lap number 23, lap number 24. It's when Carter Fitzgerald comes into the pits to make her scheduled pit stop, and as you can see, Grant Carsons comes in with her, and then there's problems right there. The 94 gets into the back of the 191 and almost gets hit by the number 70 of Roger Gailey. Bill Jones was running 15th, having a great run, almost put all to naught. As you can see, coming out of the pits, Carter Fitzgerald comes out. Right behind her is Grant Carsons. There you see Trey Ashby coming out. He's a lap down. And Callum Rogers-Ashby comes out in third. And then Lexi Percy comes out in fifth, right behind Andrew Cross. Here comes Flannery Moore. Then you see Ryan Walker, Jamal Schmidt, Cassandra Collins, and the number 9 of Thomas Tucker. And then Lonnie Rollins. He works his way up to 13th, apparently. And that is going to be a very big profit for the Gailey team. They're gonna do a miracle right now by the looks of it if they don't have further trouble, and it has been a very good work by that team. They did a very quick pit stop, put them right in that position, and that alternate strategy might just work, but they might be cutting it very close in fuel, so we don't know for sure. As Callum Rogers-Ashby just goes by Carter Fitzgerald, meaning she retakes the first position as Fitzgerald fights with her. And Fitzgerald's not gonna say die very easily. However, Rogers-Ashby just has a full head of steam and goes by Fitzgerald in one of the many hairpin of sorts we have here in Burlington. Third place is Andrew Cross. Fourth place is his former teammate at Landingen Auto Group, Grant Carsons, former champion of the series, the 2016 champion of the series. Carsons is running part-time, but next year it's very likely he's gonna run full-time for AJA Racing. As Jamal Schmidt is currently running in 7th and Thomas Tucker is running in 8th. Thomas Tucker with that 8th place, he is gonna earn a lot of points over Ryan Griffin, and this could mean a very big championship, big chance of him winning the championship. Lonnie Rollins did his scheduled pit stop on lap number 30 of 54. He is in 23rd place. His teammate Jonathan Haskins is in 22nd. And so far, if a couple more people retire, they might be having a double points day. As Ryan Long, currently running in 19th, just having a solid run, not wanting war with anyone, just bringing the car home after having quite a bit of damage to the left side of that car. Lap number 33, Callum Rogers-Ashby currently running in the first position. She has a very hefty lead over Carter Fitzgerald. Not as much as she'd like, as Carter Fitzgerald still in the visual, but it's still a solid lead. She can still do a lot of good with that, as Ryan Griffin currently running in 10th place, despite the amount of damage he has, which means he has no hood. So it's going to be a difficult weekend for Ryan Griffin, but if he can stay in the top 10 or even the top 20, it might not all go to kaput. As Cassie Collins and Ryan Walker are running right behind him in 11th and 12th. Bill Jones running in 16th on his debut, having a fantastic result for the Ecola 94 team. As Tammy Barton right there in 17th. Adam Patterson, I believe, is in 18th. So this means Jonathan Haskins is in 19th. So this is a very good strategy by Gailey Motorsports. They might be striking gold here in Burlington, Vermont. As Ashley Richardson closes the top 20. The Dwight Johnson team has had a lot of hardship to get that funding, but they're doing a good showing. They're bringing those points, and even more, they're bringing that exposure. This might mean they might have a chance of returning next year. And so far, given the investment they have in that team, it's very possible. As Thomas Tucker gets into the back of Grant Carson's. Carson hits the wall, goes around, he saves it, keeps it straightened up, and there's more trouble. As you see Mason Yokoyama, Trey Ashby gets into the back of Vince Arnold that goes into his teammate Yokoyama. Yokoyama goes into the gravel pit, and now Yokoyama goes around into the gravel pit, trying to get that car straightened out, trying to get it out of the gravel pit. When he finally gets it out, he can't avoid getting hit by Ryan Griffin, and Griffin is gonna damage that car extensively, and he's gonna need to go to the pits for an entire lap, as Kellen Rogers-Ashby is right there with Lonnie Rollins fighting with Carter Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald makes a 3 wide for the lead on lap number 36, coming to lap number 37 of 54, and there goes Carter Fitzgerald on the inside. She has a big shot of taking the lead, as Andrew Cross is right there behind, watching this battle, hoping they wreck so he can pick up the pieces. And Kellen Rogers-Ashby is gonna survive for the moment as Carter Fitzgerald continues to try to make the move, but she just does not have space. Once again, you see Ryan Griffin coming into the pits. His race is pretty much over. A lap later, he'd be lapped by Kellen Rogers-Ashby, who's going through Lucy Barton, and she's having difficulty going through Lucy Barton, as Carter Fitzgerald's having difficulty going through Ryan Griffin, but Griffin gives the space. Lucy Barton can't give it, and Kellen Rogers-Ashby now finally has space to go through Lucy Barton. And right there, Andrew Cross making a move on Carter Fitzgerald. This might be enough to take second place, but Fitzgerald blocks it pretty well, retains the position. As Kellen Rogers-Ashby ready to make a move on Roger Gady, she hesitates on the last second, but eventually makes it, as Andrew Cross goes on the inside of Carter Fitzgerald, hoping to take that position, and he will take second place, but apparently, is it gonna be enough? Carter Fitzgerald fights back, as we are gonna open lap number 41 of 54, 14 laps to go here in Burlington. We have a very good fuel strategy finish brewing up, as there's contact between Jonathan Haskins and Kellen Rogers-Ashby. This allows Andrew Cross to scoot by for the lead. Let's see what happened. Kellen Rogers-Ashby just got into the back of Jonathan Haskins when she could have easily passed them, so I don't know what she was trying to do. Haskins had to fight back control of the car, hits Ashby. I don't know if intentionally. I doubt it was intentionally, and this will cost big for Ashby as she loses the lead to Andrew Cross. However, Cross comes into the pits on lap number 42 for his final pit stop. As you see, Jonathan Haskins still right there on lap number 43. It's time for Kellen Rogers-Ashby. Carter Fitzgerald stays out. And right behind Fitzgerald, Thomas Tucker stays out. And he is chasing Fitzgerald down, trying to shave that difference, trying to see if he can win another one this year. I believe it'd be his third win of the season. And as you see, Mason Yokoyama and Bill Jones getting a little bit too personal in the pits, but that doesn't matter as Fitzgerald now enters lap 45 on the same tank of fuel. She's saving that fuel, she's saving her stuff, as Cassie Collins has problems. Let's see what happens. She leaves the pits. She has some sort of problem, gets tagged by Ryan Long. She goes around, and her race is gonna go falling apart as she gets lapped by Fitzgerald, and here comes Thomas Tucker to lap her. As Fitzgerald, as we once again, lap number 45, she goes through Grant Carson's. Thomas Tucker is catching. Lap number 47. She has stayed 5 laps more than what she should have. Same with Thomas Tucker. They almost make contact with Andrew Applewood, who's marching back on track. Flannery Moore's right there. She makes life a little bit too hard for Thomas Tucker. Tucker gets into the side of Flannery Moore. Let's watch it again as Fitzgerald into the back of Andrew Lynn Caldwell. There goes Andrew Lynn Caldwell, and there goes Thomas Tucker for the lead. Let's watch that again. That's a very good display of teamwork, Fitzgerald. Congratulations. At this point of the race, she could be putting out for naught as Thomas Tucker opens a little bit of a fat in terms of difference, but he comes into the pits, entering lap number 48 of 54. We're entering the last 6 laps. 7 laps to go at the current moment. Carter Fitzgerald leads the way, and she comes in 6 laps later than what she probably should have. And when she comes out, She is unopposed. As you see, those two are lap cars, Adam Patterson and Lee Schmidt. Then it's gonna come Ryan Walker, he's a lap car. And then Thomas Tucker in second place, trying to catch up as Connie Brooks, another lap car. Andrew Caldwell, another lap car. Jack Patterson, another lap car. As third place is Andrew Cross. Ronnie Rollins is up there, but he's a lap down. Callum Rogers-Ashby falls down to fourth place. Kelly Ashcroft appearing in fifth. Jamal Schmidt appearing in sixth. Great result for Jamal Schmidt, working his way forward as Carter Fitzgerald is pretty much unopposed. She has a huge difference to second place Thomas Tucker, who is trying to catch up, but he's just trying because there is not gonna be enough time in this final 5 laps after the pit cycle. And as you can see, rounding out the final couple of laps, Carter Fitzgerald is simply unopposed, surrounded by lap cars, but she rounds out the final corner to take a home state victory. Carter Fitzgerald is gonna take the race here at Vermont, the Champlain Valley Challenge. An extremely popular win for Carter Fitzgerald over Thomas Tucker, who tried his might but couldn't get past her. Andrew Cross gets another great result. Kelly Ashcroft brings another strong top 5. Callum Rogers-Ashby follows up on her win with a 5th place. Jamal Schmidt 6th, again trying to rally for a better consistency, as in 7th finished Luke Lanigan's. 8th was Michelle Overton. 9th Flannery Moore. 10th was Grant Carson's. Tina Ashby and Cassandra Collins closed the top 12. The championship standings now see Thomas Tucker opening a very hefty gap between him, Ryan Griffin, Jamal Schmidt, and Kelly Ashcroft, as Griffin is now 27 points behind Tucker. Schmidt is almost 40 points behind. Kelly Ashcroft is 50 points behind. Callum Rogers-Ashby and Mac Hanley closed the top 6. Hanley is starting to free fall. He just lost a lot of the consistency he had early in the season, and this is not helping him at all. The team's championship sees Ashcroft Family Racing opening a 29-point gap to Matthews Atlantic. AJA Racing 57 points behind. Ike Durbin Incorporated 63 points behind, as Ernest Lewis Racing and HQS Racing closed the top 6, 65 and 68 points behind. The Rookie of the Year standings after the 12th race of 20 sees Kelly Rogers-Ashby 25 points ahead of Carter Fitzgerald. Tina Ashby 27 points behind, and Cassandra Collins 30 points behind. Ryan Long and Emily Potvin closed the top 6. As you can see, the top 5 has all the rookies that won races this season, being Ashby, Fitzgerald, and Collins. The Manufacturers Championship sees Lennard 10 points ahead of Sark, Elton Morel 24 points behind, Lycoya 46 points behind, and Moto 57 and Inglesby 79. They are falling behind, and this is not good for the Moto nor Lycoya, but they are having strong runs with the drivers that are in battles. So among the losses, there's still at least a little bit of gain. The Nations Cup is coming to a close as the United States gets to 465 points, England 267, Canada 314, Puerto Rico 325, the Popular Republic of China to 402, and Australia to 413. At this point, as long as the United States gets the 300-point gap between them and England, it'll be over. The next race for the North American Auto Club will be at the Lime Rock Park in Lakeville, Connecticut, the Northeastern Grand Prix. For Sports America, I've been Eric Burns. I will see you next time.